Hello everybody, I am about to do another spirit art drawing, but before I get into the drawing, I thought I would let you know about some tools that I use. Recently, I bought a fluorite wand, and I hope you can see that. It's very nice with a lot of striations in it. Here is another wand I've had for a longer period of time. It's pretty large. And I haven't used this one for drawing yet. I've used this one for drawing by just having it in the area because it stabilizes energy fields. I do keep a lot of crystals around because I like the way that they help me with my work. I'm starting to notice that more and more people are into crystals. I definitely use them, and I would encourage anybody out there that thinks they could help to give them a try. If you don't know what spirit art is, I've made a lot of other videos about spirit art drawings, but basically the intention of this reading is that it's for a future viewer. So if it's something that really resonates with you and you think it's for you and or about you or somebody you know, please let me know, because then this is your drawing. And let's get started on this spirit art reading. Hello, my fellow Americans. I have another spirit art drawing for you. I hope you can get a good view right here. This is a lot of helicopters. They may have been black helicopters because I did ask for markings and I got none, and they are indeed black here. And these are a lot of searchlights. Yes, I know this one looks like it could be some sort of like UFO searchlight, but I really just think these are regular run-of-the-mill military search vehicles. So basically it'd be like a search helicopter. And once again, I wrote down a lot of things in my notebook, so I'm just going to go over this. But basically this is a mystery that does not need to be solved, and it took place at night. It was a really rushed, frantic search in the middle of the night for a body that was supposed to be found but was not found because they were not murdered like the authorities thought and believed they're going to be murdered. Okay, so who was going to be murdered? I believe it was a small boy. I believe it was a young child that was supposed to be murdered because the young child escaped from a facility nearby, and the nearby facility I think was underground because I never got any sort of description about the building. So it was a very well hidden, it was a very well hidden facility, whether it was underground or not. Not a lot of people knew it was there, and it's a really rural area. You can see it's like mostly evergreen trees. There are mountains in the area, but I think this view was mostly rolling hills because I continually asked for how the landscape looked, and I saw a lot of hills. They could be like the hills that lead up to a mountain, so it could be near a mountain range, but this is a large lake. So it's basically a lake by rolling hills in, I want to say, a state like Colorado, Montana, Wyoming. It's a colder area. I felt very cold, even wet. And I do believe that this man here rescued this boy from the water. I think he got in the water and pulled out the child, and the child either frantically ran into the water to escape whoever he was running from, or else he was dumped in the water. And for whatever reason, this man knew. So these are the two people. This is the man that rescued the child, and this is the child. The child is horrified, and he has his hands over his face like this, and he was pulled out of the water, like I said, by this man. So he is a hero that no one needs to know. He is a hermit-like man. He lives in the woods by himself. He has a very rudimentary lifestyle, probably in a cabin that he built himself. I don't think he has a TV. He loves the mountains. He loves the woods. He knows the area very well. And whether or not this is a part of his understanding, he is also very psychic. And this man knows what's going on in the area around his house, in the woods around his house, in the mountains around his house, in the hills around his house, and of course he knows what's going on at the lake near his house. When the helicopters start circling, he knows what's going on because he's seen enough things, and that if he told people the stories that he has seen and experienced, nobody would believe him. He doesn't interact with a lot of people because he lives in a rural area, and I don't think he really wants to interact with a lot of people because even though he is a very loving individual, he's also very gruff, and he doesn't have a very presentable appearance, right? So if he looks like a man who lives in the woods. I mean, basically he's an intimidating character, and he also has a very large personality. This was sort of like a chase. So you have the helicopters here, and then you have this man's truck, and I think it was more like of a Bronco type of vehicle. And these are the reeds that were next to the lake. And so I don't know how he knew the child was in the lake, but he knew of enough people and bodies that were dumped in the lake to know that if there was something going on, the bodies would be dumped in the lake. Like I said, he's very psychic. He had an idea because he's seen this pattern before where you have these helicopters circling. And the chase, or I don't know if the helicopters were chasing him, but definitely his car was going extremely fast through the forest to get to this lake. And he did, for whatever reason, get a broken windshield. So I don't think he was shot at or anything by the helicopters. I just think he got a broken windshield because, well, I mean, if you're gonna drive your Bronco through the woods, you know, something's gonna go wrong. So, or else the windshield, maybe it had always been broken. There was no time. A murder was prevented. So the authorities wanted the murder, and he prevented the murder by saving the child. The authorities, I don't think, knew that he took the child out of the water, or if anybody did see it, they didn't say anything, and it's unsolved. The thing is unsolved, and that's fine because the identity of the child needs to be protected, obviously, and the identity of this man needs to be protected, obviously, because if he has been rescuing people, then he needs to stay under the radar. It's still a mystery today. Like I said, I'm gonna say Colorado. It could be other places. I'm gonna say Colorado. This man, he's alive, I do believe, but you know, he's very psychic. And he said, or whoever was helping me see this, said that this man has seen this happen before. So he has seen other situations where these helicopters were looking for bodies in the water. Nobody likes this man. Nobody likes him, but they don't know that he saved somebody, and why should he tell them? It's very David Paulides-like as far as mystery. I kept getting this is a very missing child / David Paulides thing. I read most of David Paulides' books. I love David Paulides. So this child escaped from a facility. What type of facility? I don't know. The type of facility that locks up children? I don't know. There's a lot of information coming out about facilities that lock up children. I mean, I don't know what type of facility it was, but I'm getting that it wasn't good, because if they want to hunt down a child in the middle of the night and make sure that they're in a lake, it's obviously nothing. It's a government facility that did not care about the child. During the duration of this reading, at least towards the end, I did feel like a large blanket over my shoulders, so I'm not sure if this man wore a blanket on his shoulders or if this is just something that happened when at the specific time that he rescued the child. So I drew a lot of this, and then I saw this at the end. So drawing this man and over this child figure was kind of frustrating because I saw them, I saw them and I was like, okay, well, great. Now I see them on the paper and now I have to draw them. And of course, I didn't draw them exactly how I was seeing them in my mind's eye, but like you can still get the picture here. Like the child is obviously terrified and this man is kind of like crawling up the riverbank kind of below the car, and then they will get in the car. This man has a warrior type archetype, and he knows what's happening when the helicopter starts circling the area. So even though he might not know exactly what the facility is, actually I do think he knows, but it's not really public, something that the public really knows about, but he knows about it, and he knows what's happening when he hears the helicopters circling the area. This individual is very highly spiritually evolved. And that could also be because he's not surrounded by TV and radio and electronics. He just lives like a very rudimentary lifestyle. Okay, if you know about this man and this mystery, this like murder mystery, but actually was a murder prevented mystery, feel free to reach out. And thank you all for listening. And I will be coming out with another spirit art drawing before you know it. Bye.